Both of these machines right here are made in China, but they're not both designed in China. This is the Oracle Dual boiler by Breville, or by Sage, depending on where you live in the world. And this is designed and engineered in Australia. This, on the other hand, is the Wendougee Data S, and this is both designed and also built in China. Now, I wanted to compare these two because they both share some commonalities. They're both dual boilers. They both cost a similar amount. The Oracle Dual boiler is $3,000. The Wendougee Data S is admittedly a little more expensive. This one is $3,700, but they're kind of in a similar range. The Oracle Dual boiler does include a grinder, so of course that's a difference. It's got auto tamping and auto distribution, so that's kind of a nice thing. But I think if you're spending this much money on an espresso machine, you probably already have a separate grinder. The main thing I wanted to show you here is, what do you get for your money? And is everything from China crap, or can it be good? Because with China being the world's factory, I think they can build both cheap things and they can build expensive or high quality things. So let's just take a look inside. We're going to start right here with the Oracle Dual boiler, but what you see in here are a couple of stainless steel boilers. We've got a solenoid by Simi. I think that's an Italian brand. If you can see here, we got a grinder. It is the 6-bladed grinder. Here is the tamping fan and distribution area. And you've got 2 vibratory pumps in here. They're hard to see. They're way back down in the back. What else you're going to see, and a lot of people have been asking me about this lately, are PTFE lines for the hot water. Now, PTFE, if you don't know, is just another word for Teflon. And people seem to want to avoid that more and more these days. But the reason that they put these PTFE lines in these machines is, well, they're flexible, first of all. Secondly, they have a very high resistance to heat. They don't have a melting point until 600 degrees Fahrenheit. They're chemically inert, and they have really good friction properties. So I think that's the reason that they use these, and they're used in all kinds of machines. But I know a lot of people want to avoid anything that is plastic or looks like plastic. Now, what you don't have is any ability to do any pressure profiling. You just got 2 standard Ulca pumps. These are pumps that come from Italy that cost about $25 to $30 or euros. So that's what we got going on there. And unfortunately, it's not easy to remove the rest of the machine. So I'm just gonna kind of leave that one be for now. Alrighty guys, at this point in the video, I would ask you for 2 favors. Number 1, please do give the video a like if you're gaining any value. And number 2, consider subscribing to the video. That way I know to make more like this one in the future. And finally, this is more of a comparison of the components, of the build quality. If you are looking for a full-fledged review of either one of these, I have them on my channel, so just check below. Now, if we take a look here at this guy, the Data S, this is much nicer. Honestly, it's a much heavier machine. There's a lot more metal involved. And what I really like is just how easy it is to take apart. So it's just 2 screws to remove the top plate, 2 Phillips screws, easy. Then you've got a couple of Torx screws to remove this plate here, and that comes right off like so. It's held in by some hooks and by 2 holes in the top in which it gets screwed down. Very nice. Then you got the bottom piece here, which slides out like so. And you've already got a totally naked machine. Pretty cool. Now, both of these machines are turned off, obviously. They are not plugged in. They have not been plugged in a long time. And so everything is cooled down, there's no pressure. And just take this video as a disclaimer, just for entertainment purposes only. I don't recommend you take your espresso machine apart. Alrighty, so if you look at the Wendougee Data S, you're going to notice a couple of things right away that differentiate from the Oracle Dual boiler. First of all, you don't have PTFE lines for the hot water. Instead, you got copper lines here. So I know that's what a lot of people are looking for, are metal lines instead of the PTFE Teflon lines. It also does have two boilers. It's got this big guy down here. It's a 1.8 liter boiler. And then it's also got this guy up here. They're both stainless steel. This is the brew boiler, and this also has an advantage. This actually extends all the way to the brew group itself. So it's a saturated brew group, and I think that's the reason you get these excellent textured shots. Highly aromatic, very tasty shots you get out of this guy. I believe it's for that reason. Now, both of these machines do have PIDs to control the temperature of the boiler, but I think that saturated brew group does make a difference. You also see, and this is interesting, you're going to see some parts which are actually European. So you got solenoids here and here. These are by the brand ODE. As far as I can tell, they are Italian. You've also got a pressure transducer right here from the brand Wika, W-I-K-A. That is a German brand. So you got this pressure sensor here from Wika, and you've also got over here a manometer from Wika. If we take a look on the other side, we have got also a flow meter from G-Car. And as far as I know, G-Car is an Italian company, so that's already 5 European parts that are built into a Chinese engineered, designed, and built machine. Of course, what also differentiates the Data S very much from the Oracle Dual boiler is the pump down here. They've got a gear pump installed. So the nice thing with the gear pump is you can determine the flow rate that you want. So you can set up your shot to have a certain amount of flow rate or to reach a certain pressure, and the gear pump is able to facilitate that. And you monitor it through 2 sensors. First of all, you got the flow sensor up here from G-Car, and on the other side, you've got the pressure sensor from Wika. With that being the case, you can pressure profile to your heart's desire, and that opens up, I think, just a lot of room for experimentation. And I think that really differentiates it from something like this, where you can just do a plain 9-bar shot on the Oracle Dual boiler. This also uses, just in general, the Data S uses very robust components. It's got a robust switch here for engaging the shot. It's got nice wooden touch points on it. And it's got a very, very thick base as well. So it is really a very strong machine. Now, something else that I've noticed is it's got a base plate in there as well. I don't know how well you can see this. So the frame is this part here. It's painted white. And within that machine frame, there is also a bottom frame that is cut out to fit in there perfectly. So if I just look at the build quality of the Data S, there's simply no comparison to the Oracle Dual boiler. Now, I know this is very aggravating to some people, that I would say China makes a higher quality machine than a Breville machine, but I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm impressed by this machine, by what it's able to produce from a standpoint of the shots and of the excellent steam texture. And when I take it apart, I just have to appreciate the build. From an engineering standpoint, it's quite interesting. And just seeing how they built it, you can tell it's very high quality.
And finally, you'll see that they've even included wire labels, which is a great attention to detail.
Now, that's not to say there's no disadvantages with the Data S. First of all, you have to think about the distributors, where you're buying it from. If you have any issues with this and you can't fix it yourself, you're going to have to probably get help from wherever you buy it from, whereas Breville is supported all over the place. And, you know, everybody may want these copper lines in their machines because they are more robust and because they are not Teflon. But I tell you what, keeping these things sealed so that they're working properly is not always the easiest thing. I used to have a rocket Giotto, and that thing started leaking out of one of the connections on the steam boiler, and I had a heck of a time getting that thing fixed. So just keep that in mind. If you do have to fix something on here, there's certainly a higher level of expertise necessary in comparison to just, sticking one of these PTFE lines back into its socket and putting the clip in. But yeah, as for me, if I had to make a decision, where am I going to spend my money? Either $3,000 on the Oracle Dual boiler or $3,700 on the Data S. Certainly from a physical standpoint, from a hardware standpoint, from a quality standpoint, I would take the Data S. Now, of course, there's one more thing to mention about both of these machines, and that is the software, the HMI. So you got to integrate it here on the Breville Oracle Dual boiler, which is nice and it's quite refined. They have been refining their user experience for a long time already. It works and it's nice. Now on the Data S, on the other hand, you need either an iPad or an Android tablet or some kind of phone, download the app, and then you can control the Wendougee. So what you can do is set up a profile. You can change the temperature in the boilers. You can check numerous other settings, and what you can do is you can tie one of your, let's say your favorite profile, you can tie here to this switch, and then you don't need the app anymore. From that point, you can just hit the switch and it's going to run that profile. But I will say this, the app is okay, but it's not as intuitive as it could be, not in my opinion. But I do think that over time that will probably mature as well. Now before I close out the video, I might as well show the water path on the Data S because it's pretty well exposed. So we've got a water tank up here. Now the water tank itself is plastic and it's small, so that is a little bit of a disadvantage on the Wendougee. Small water tank. Anyway, it feeds out of the bottom of the water tank right here, and that feeds down here into the right side of the gear pump. The gear pump pressurizes it and it exits also on a PTFE line, and this is the one PTFE that's in this machine, still ambient temperature, and it enters here into a distribution block. So in the distribution block, you've got here your pressure transducer or pressure sensor on top. And then you've got two exits here. Both of these actually go to the steam boiler, interestingly. So one always goes to the steam boiler, to the bottom, and the other one goes here through a two-way solenoid, so that's either switched on or switched off. And that goes here into the middle of the steam boiler. From that point, the steam boiler does also feed here the brew boiler, as you see there. And both the brew boiler has got an overpressure valve here set at 13 bar. So if the pressure would ever get to be over 13 bar, then it's going to shunt that extra pressure down into a manifold. And same thing here for the steam boiler. You've got a copper line going down here and out through a overpressure valve that runs at 3 bar. And that also runs then into an overpressure manifold. At the top of the steam boiler, you've also got here a connection to your manometer. And in the middle, you've got a connection that goes up to your hot water outlet. Now on the other side of the steam boiler, you've got your connection for the steam wand. Here you're going to see the temperature probe for the PID control on the brew boiler, and also down here on the steam boiler. And again, here's the gear pump. All right, guys, I hope that this video was interesting for you to undress these machines a little bit, see what they're made out of, and get a general idea for what you can get for between $3,000 and $4,000. If you want more detailed information on the Wendougee Data S, I did write up a blog article. I included some nice photos of the outside and the inside, and you can check that out. I'll link it down below. And that will be nice if you guys can tell me in the comments down below, which of these two machines would you prefer? The old standby, the Breville Oracle Dual boiler, or the Wendougee Data S? Which do you think is better. Until next time, guys, I wish you happy coffee drinking, happy espresso drinking. Bye now.